left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poisons, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty. Welcome. You're muted. There you go. Welcome to episode 129 or issue 129 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. And it's a fucking big one, yo. It's huge. You still muted? I think you're still muted. Anyway, it's a big episode, fat episode. And you know, I think my mic is working. Yeah, it's working. Everything's good. Nate's just the only one that's muted. But yeah, it's a big old episode. So let's get right into it, so we don't have to, you know, sit here and just do business while Nate is, you know, talking to somebody on the other side of his.
On the other side of what?
Well, I can't hear you, dude.
What
Well, I
do
can
you
hear you
mean?
now. I can hear you now.
Oh, it's because I didn't know what this button did.
You didn't know what this button did. Well, how about you tell
When I find
them?
buttons and I don't know what they do, I push them.
Hey, why don't you tell them about our sub giveaway while I make sure my my buttons work?
Oh,
here.
we've actually canceled the 1,000 sub
That's
giveaway. We're
not
going
true.
to be giving...
Not
Is that what
true
you meant?
whatsoever. No,
Oh.
absolutely not. I'm gonna hit this real quick and see where it goes. Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
What
Where's the okay.
is happening?
I forgot to switch. You know, this is a professional show, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
forgot.
it's not professional because we don't make any money.
Well, not yet, but we're trying.
When we do, then we'll be
Okay,
real
let's go
professionals.
ahead and talk about our show's sponsors. I got the button fixed. Anyway, our show's sponsor is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. They have 2 locations, one in Fort Worth and one in Keller. And that is our LCS. That's where Nate and I both venture to get our books. And they've got really cool locations here, and they've got some great stuff at those shops. But they have a really good website that we'd love for you to go check out, and it's called brainycomics.com. And over at brainycomics.com, you can get exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards. So if you want to do a little bit of shopping, so you get a little bit of extra cash, and you want to go over there and do some shopping, go to brainycomics.com, pick up some stuff. But before you check out, what we would love for you to do is go over to that top left-hand corner right there, that search bar, and type in Two Fat Guys Pull List. And when you press enter, this is what's going to come up. It is a Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade and premium upgrade. Now, the upgrade for $8 gets you 1 exclusive variant cover, mystery exclusive cover in your shopping cart. Yep. And if you do the premium for $15, you get 2. Now, that's a really good deal because if you noticed, if you come over here, most of the variants are around 15, 10, some of them 30. So you're getting a really good deal with the first one, but you're getting an amazing deal if you do the premium. So do a little bit of shopping, put the Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade or premium upgrade in your shopping cart, check out, pay for it, and then just wait. Wait for your stuff to come in the mail. And then the first thing you should do outside of checking that you got everything, which I'm sure you did, is what did you get as your mystery pull, whether it's the regular or the premium. So check that out. And then if you do, make sure to tag us, let us know what you got. So head over to BradyComics.com, show them some love, let them know that Two Fat Guys Pull sent you over there. Also, we got to talk about our sub giveaway, which Nate lied about at the beginning of the show, which is we are still giving away books.
A lie, maybe just a fib.
We're giving away something at 850 subscribers, 950 subscribers, and 1,000 subscribers. And 850 subscribers, we're giving away this CBCS graded 9.8 Green Lantern #1 with John Stewart on the cover. This is a retailer incentive. It's pretty damn cool. Love this books, but we will be giving this away when we hit 850 subscribers. So make sure that you are there. You are here. You're subbed. You're liked. You're ringing that bell, and you're here when we give it away. Also, freshly shaved Jim. Yep, that's right. When we hit 1,000, you guys know the drill, and we're gonna do it if we ever hit it. Which is we're giving away this 9.8 CBCS graded Amazing Spider-Man #4 Original Sin tie-in, the first appearance of Silk. Yep, we are that crazy to do it, or at least I am. And we will be giving it away when we hit 1,000. So let's get it, guys. Let's get that sub goal up. Let's hit 1,000 subs and give away some slabs. So that's going to do it for the business. What up, y'all? What's up? How's everybody doing? What up, Empire? What up, Patty? What up, Joe? What up, Sebastian? What up, John? Yeah, it was a crazy week. And yes, I am shaved. I am cleanly shaved. We said something about 25 books. I picked up 25 books this week. My wallet hurts. Yeah, I picked up, was it 17 books? It's a decent amount. But yeah, it was a good week. Nate, you said it was about an A+, huh?
I don't know if I'd say A+,
Or you
but
said
definitely an A.
Yeah, I'd
would
give
say
it
that.
I'd give it a solid B+, maybe an A-.
What's
It was
an
the-
A minus? A 90?
What do you mean? A 90.
What's an
Anywhere
A?
between
Like a 94?
No, I think an A- is 90, 91, 92.
Mm-hmm. So
A
what's
is
an
93 to
Okay.
I'd say 96.
And we'll give this a 92 and a half.
Okay, whatever.
That was very important to me that we
Sure.
understood where-
Whatever. Anyway, let's get to the show. Not Sebastian. Last, you got. Hey, what's y'all's opinion on X-Men '97? I know we haven't seen any clips or big teasers, but I don't have faith in the animation department for the sequel of the series. What about you? I have faith. I loved watching the X-Men when I was a little kid, and we're seeing the last glimpse of any really new projects on Disney Plus this year and probably next year, because I know they're making a lot of cuts on Disney Plus right now. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's I think that's opinions based, but so I'm looking forward to it. I know some shows have already been cut, so I need to get everything that we can get before we start getting little to nothing on Disney Plus here for a little bit. So that's how I feel about it. But anyway,
I don't know much about it, so
because you didn't watch cartoons when you were a kid, you were weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to let's get into the show. First book of the night. That's Daredevil issue number 10 from Chip Zdarsky and Chichetto. Man, some crazy shit happened in this book. We knew, the big revelation from the previous book with the hand or the fist the hand manipulating the fist and, thinking, Daredevil and Elektra thinking they had the upper hand, but they didn't.
No.
And so the ramifications happen in this issue, and we get an Avengers invasion on Matt's little island, and we just get a lot. We get a lot of Spider-Man in this book, which I really, really enjoyed. It felt like Spider-Man. It felt like we actually had a Spider-Man for once, and not some weird version of him. I thoroughly enjoyed the issue. I think this, as we hurl towards the climax and the conclusion of Zdarsky's run, I definitely feel like he's firing on all cylinders. I just feel like he's got it going on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Last said Matt's inner thought. He liked Matt's inner thoughts on Spider-Man, and I think that shows probably Zdarsky's hold on these characters. Like he knows Spider-Man really well. I even felt like he wrote Captain America well, because I was annoyed as shit by him. So, which is Captain always annoys me anyway. So that makes sense that he was like that. But
yeah, I think also, I think Chip, he did it with the Justice League, where he wrote that Elseworld or one shot or mini with the Justice League. He did like 2 of them. He needs to do that with the Avengers. I think he would do really well in that space of like a 6-part or a 10-part mini writing in the Avengers team, or shit, even the X-Men. But I think he like you said, he has a good command of his characters and how they're supposed to make you feel, whether it's rooting for them or, like you said, annoyed, like Captain America. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good issue. I really liked. I'll just say one thing. I really liked the Chichetto's depiction of the island being invaded by the Avengers with all the aircraft. I won't even call them airplanes because they all looked really funky. But just that those scenes where they're in the air, it just felt. I don't know how to explain what it felt like, but it felt good. It felt real, if that makes any sense. Like it just. It held a lot of weight. Like there was a lot of detail, whereas, and maybe this is me lashing out subconsciously to Junior's art style, right? But like, if you can take your time to do something like that, you know what I mean? Like it just felt right. I think there are a couple books this week that did that, were in varying art styles, because. And when we get to Thor, I'm sure your opinion will differ, but I really enjoyed the artwork in Thor this week. It felt kind of... Oh, huh?
I did too.
Okay. Well, I know we were kind of hesitant in the first issue that artist was, because it was like kind of... It was almost like he was trying to find his form, but it just felt very Daniel Warren Johnson-esque, but there was still some like classic to it. Anyway, that being said, when the artwork just slaps, and then on top of that, the writing, like that's when you have just this meld... and just genuine vibe of a comic. And I think Daredevil did a really good job of that this week.
Yeah, I would say that if you're a fan of his first volume, you really like the prison arc, which was my favorite arc, where it really dives deep into Daredevil's psyche and like his, religiousness and his idea of justice. This issue was a good glimpse back into what made that arc so good.
Did solicitations already come out for July for Marvel? I didn't even notice.
I have no idea.
Well, let's just give it a look-see here. Put it on the thingy here.
Yes.
Oh, it did.
Well, I mean, at least Daredevil is on here.
What am I doing? Why am I straying from the show? Like, hey, should we just add more stuff to talk about and not... No, let's move on. Anyway, Daredevil was great. All right, Deadpool issue number 6. This book is still slapping, man. It's continuing on with its hilarity, its genuineness. The artwork is so good in this book. I think it's Pena, right? So like, duh, we're gonna get a treat, right? He's like one little half step below like RB Silva and Pepe Larraz. So art department, great. I think the voices of the characters, awesome. And this kind of continuation of the story, yet still felt like a one shot to me, was very unique for this issue. I think if there's one thing that I don't know what the hell's going on, is what is the monster that they're fighting on the cover? Because I don't think that monster's in the book. Like, I'm almost certain.
I don't know.
I think that's just a random. If I had any critique of this book, which says a lot, it's that the cover does not match with the interior in that sense.
Yeah. Well, covers rarely do that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling through here to try to see if it pops up, but I'm not seeing it pop up anywhere at all.
It's not. Joe, the Ghost reference movie cover just got me. Yeah, it's it's firing on all cylinders, man. This book is great. This book is amazing.
It's one of the books that I think fits into our classic Silly Goose Time, mind frame. Like it's one of the books that you can easily rely on. I usually put it in right smack dab in the middle of my pulls, even if it's in between other publishers, just so I know that I have a book to look forward to, that I'm not going to have to sit there and overanalyze or worry if it's going to be, a dud or not.
Right. No, it does a great job, and I loved the date day aspect. I liked Lady Deathstroke, or what her name? I can't. Deathstrike. Just playing chaperone and bodyguard, and the symbiote dog, I think was great too. It just slapped. It was a good read, and it ended too quickly. But I don't think it was because there wasn't a lack of substance. It's just you're so entertained with all the pages that you just get lost in it. So when it ends, you're like, well, damn, man, I was having a good time. Like, we got to keep that going.
The one thing to keep an eye on, which is Marvel's curse lately, or I don't even all publishers' curse. It's not Pina or Kukulo on the art, and it's not either one of them on the art for at least the next 3 issues. It's going to be Luigi Zagaria, who really has almost nothing to his name. Midnight Suns is the only full completed book he's done. So, I just, once again, we can't.
Can we not do that? Can you just stop it?
Artists going.
John, I haven't read Deadpool yet, but I'll play Unchained Medley while I read it tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
All right, let's keep moving. This will be a quick one. We got Doctor Strange issue number 2. We're continuing this. What's the name of his wife?
Clea.
Clea and Doctor Strange. Getting life back together. We do find out a little interesting tidbit in here that Nightmare has been placed in this alternate dimension. Now, we last saw Nightmare in an X-Men book where Jean Grey was like, back the fuck off, and she kind of banished her. Well, we find him in this book, and he references that, and Doctor Strange references that, and says, it would appear that this is a mutant's doing. But when they find Nightmare, he's like, Strange, stop torturing me, I've had enough. So he's under some kind of, wherever Jean sent him, he isn't that good, right? So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with this, this little one-shot adventure here, but we're also still dealing with the murder of that one Sorcerer Supreme in the other dimension. So we've got a lot going on in the book. The one thing I will say is we didn't have any side stories like we did in the first issue that felt kind of annoying. It was just Doctor Strange through the entire thing, which I liked. I wasn't like overly impressed. I wasn't like, man, this comic slapped like Deadpool, but it does have me somewhat intrigued to pick up issue 3. Will it get my full attention and pull? No, I'm not putting it on the pull list permanently yet. 3, I think I'm extending my 2 issue got to sway me to put on the pull list. I'm extending it to 3 because I was somewhat intrigued with some of the storylines. And it didn't feel as clunky as issue 1, which is rare for an issue 2. It's just rare for an issue 2. So, overall, I liked it. Patty says Alex Ross covers are always so cool. Man, I dig his Strange. I don't know why, but his suit has never looked better. I
do agree with that. By the way, I have no problem with where's that comment at? Love when Marvel gives random artists a shot on an ongoing, and I agree. I like it. That we're not giving the same couple of people a shot. It's that let's just stick like Kukulo, right? Kukulo was the guy. He was the guy that was getting the shot, and he got one arc, and now he's not there again. It's like, oh. And then you gave me Pena, and you're like, okay, great. And then now he's not gonna be there again. Like, if we're gonna give these guys shots, the bare minimum, let them do an arc, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'll get off the soapbox.
No, that makes sense. I agree. All right, let's keep moving forward. Next up, we have Hulk issue number 14, the final issue in the Donny Cates Otley run. Overall, disappointing. Not the issue itself, but like just what happened to the book, because I think there was a lot of potential here, and it just kind of fell flat. That being said, there were a lot of things in this book that were kind of reused, right? Like the idea of this omnipotent, or no, that's not the right word. Otherworldly.
Sorry.
Yeah, otherworldly being in control of Hulk and the subconscious that's within him that's making a mess. Now, initially when we start getting into this and this Berserker Hulk or whatever the fuck it's called, I can't even remember I don't even remember what it's called. Starts
It was like a ship or something.
Right. So he starts, absorbing the Hulk planet. He's taking over, and we find out, this, I think it's Despair, or it's one of these demons that was given something to him. So in the book we find out how this thing took control of Hulk and planted the seed. And what apparently happens is this guy was somehow, I forget the name of the character, but it's someone that's related to Darkheart, was given a red stone through a green door. Now, green doors were very popular and focus of the subject within Al Ewing's run, right? The green door. And so there's a connection there, right? And so it's like a little agent of chaos, little spec, energy thing. And that's what set all this off, right? So we don't know who gave it to this person at this point in the book. So we defeat the big bad version of Hulk. We get rid of Doctor Strange, is able to help everything. Bruce is able to mend the fence with the Hulk, and everything's great. Yay! Right? So the book ends with him going to that new Hulk planet and basically hanging out with everybody, and everything's hunky-dory. Well, the end of the book ends with the green door again. And we see the little red stone ding 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 hit in front of the door, and a little hand comes out, and quite literally like a baby arm comes out, picks it up, and pulls it. Before it pulls it in, this baby sticks its head out, and it is the leader. The leader who was stuck in the green door at the end of Al Ewing's run is still in that dimension, and he's fucking around with the Hulk. So there is some buildup that I think we're going to see with this reveal that will move us into Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein's Hulk run. Joe, as an unapologetic Hulk fan, this run will go down as a car finishing a race with flats. Felt bad for Ali, his riding debut, and put him in a corner. I agree. Yeah. You could definitely tell that there was some help. Like, he got some help, but yeah, it looked like a baby leader. Yeah, so it's a baby leader.
I wonder how much Otley was talking with Philip Kennedy Johnson on this.
Or
if they weren't at all, but at least through the editors or like something to get.
You got to add this
some continuity,
Yeah, I don't know. I think that we'll never know, but it would be I would be very interested to see like how much dialogue did he have with Donny Cates, how much of this was planned throughout the entire run. All of that correspondence we'll never get. But yeah, I agree. I feel bad for Ollie because it was just supposed to be his artwork, which his artwork was phenomenal throughout this entire run. Dude is a beast. So, a bit disappointing, but at least we have something that I think will hook people to go read Philip Kennedy Johnson's run. I know I'm going to pick up issue 1. I don't know. It's not an immediate sub like when this was announced, when it was Otley and Donny Cates, but I will give it a shot. So we'll see. John, I gave Ollie a lot of credit for his finish of this run. His issue had a bit more fun in them. Granted, I didn't read this one yet. No, it's a good issue, but it's just lacking. It's lacking that Donny Cates voice. It's lacking that edge where things are just so ridiculous. You're just like, fuck yeah. Like, it's just not there. But it does the job. It sticks its landing. I'll put that in quotations, but it did what it had to do. Surprised they didn't call Ewing to help out like they did with Thor. I don't think you could I don't know. Al Ewing, fresh off of his Hulk run was so philosophical. Like, it was deep with like real world writers and philosophers. I just don't know if his voice would have worked with what they were doing in this book. I'm sure it would have been great, but I just think the tone would have been completely different if Al Ewing had been involved in trying to finish it out.
Damn it, Lass. I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was coming.
What happened?
He said it's like the X-Men without Hickman.
Of course.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
Grayson, damn, Otley keeps getting the short end of the stick on his big Marvel books, regardless of love his effort. No, he did a great job. I mean,
It was
bravo.
his other Marvel book starting Spider-Man with Nick Spencer.
I don't remember.
That's-
All right, let's move on to Invincible Iron Man issue number 5 from Gary Cherry. Yo, like this book is becoming, huh?
This is a cute one.
Yeah, I love the cover.
No, the cover.
The cover's great.
Sorry.
Anyway, Gary Cherry is really starting. I think he's really starting to find his step in this run and in his X-Men run, and how these are going to intertwine
Very closely.
One thing I will say is I read our books out of order, right? I started with Sins of Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, this is stupid. It doesn't really make it doesn't matter. It shouldn't make sense. This shouldn't be a problem for me. But when you read Sins of Sinister, the last book, and we see what happens to certain characters, and then we get to this book and that character is still here, I was like, but wait a minute. You know what I mean? But who knows when this actually happens?
Bro, I don't see how you still get caught up on that.
Well, it just happens, man. My brain is weird. But anyway, this book was great. This Fei Long's Iron Man relationship is awesome, and we all know where this is going, right? And it shows us, like, we're getting Iron Man Sentinels. The X-Men are fucked. Like, they are screwed, and we haven't even gotten to Sins of Sinister Dominion. Yeah, I don't know. It was good. I thought the artwork's stellar. The writing is great. And I think what has me most impressed is the fact that you're enjoying this book.
I'm still on it, and I'll still be on it after this issue too, which is, yeah, it's surprising.
Mm-hmm.
There is just enough going right for this book, and I don't mean that as a saying like, oh, I'm about to jump off, but I just mean like, for me to stay on an Iron Man book, there needs to be a ton going right, and there is, and I think part of that is the identity, the voice that was captured that I enjoyed so much from Cantwell's run feels present here too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Also, I like that one thing that I don't super enjoy about Iron Man comics is like his cast of characters and supporting cast and stuff like that, but his supporting cast here has been very non-traditional for him, which is mainly so of course I'm going to be on board there.
I was like, what? But Dunk got it.
Oh.
I was like, what? All right, let's keep moving. But this is a great book, and I'm very eager to get to the next, as we move into this next arc where the X-Men are going to be extremely involved. I'm so stoked for it.
I will say, strangely enough, the next issue, I don't know if you looked at the solicitations for the next issue.
No.
It has me both irritated and intrigued.
Okay.
Because it is I'll pull it up so I say it exactly. It says Blast to the Past in an untold story of Iron Man versus the West Coast Avengers. So this looks like it's almost like a flashback issue. But one, the cover is amazing. Yeah. Two, he's fighting Wonder Man, and three, he's in your favorite suit. So he's in the white.
Oh fuck yeah, with the triangle.
Yeah, the issue 200 or whatever. 201.
Oh my god, yeah, red and silver. Yeah.
So random. It almost feels like, and we don't have Figuri for this one issue. So it seems like this was a oh shit, we got to give Figuri a month to get caught back up sort of issue. But I won't judge the whole run off that.
I do like the cover. The cover is really good.
Yeah, that cover's interesting.
All right, let's move on to a big book. And last, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about this. And that is Sins of Sinister or Dominion. Right? Dominion?
Yes, Dominion.
My goodness. Say what you will. Right? Let's just put Hickman at the door and leave him there. Okay? Just leave him there. I think you said it best when we talked about this before the show, which is this is the quintessential definition of sticking the landing.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Yeah, this is bad.
I really enjoyed this issue. I had a
Yeah.
blast with it. I thought the second half was more fulfilling than the first half. But still, overall.
Well, whoa. Wait. Well, before we even get into this, can we just settle something really quick?
Did you go review the tape?
It's there.
Did you review it though? How much
You
money
owe me.
do I owe you?
You owe me like $100.
Oh my god. Okay. Every time you say it, the number goes up.
I haven't said it since the day we did it.
Okay.
Who? Nate.
Yeah, I'm not your son.
I know. It's because this
You
is
want me
how
to call you
frustrating.
daddy? Is that
No,
what it
this.
is?
Yeah, call me daddy, bitch. Anyway,
you won one bet. You want me to call you daddy?
so who comes back?
That would be RPIV,
Which is
Rasputin 4.
so she made it, huh?
She made it. She out.
She
here.
made it. She made it
in
out of
the
the event, huh?
streets. Yeah, she's on this island,
She's on this island, yo.
and she was naked when she appeared too. I knew you
Dude,
like that.
so bad. Dude, she's just so fucking cool, man. Rasputin makes it alive. Spoilers. Oops.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know that.
Yep.
Cheer.
Empire goes, and now this is where he's going to be like, I hate it. He goes, how Rasputin entered the timeline was unexplained and weird. This book didn't leave much to the imagination when it came to Sinister. We shouldn't have known who transcended. It's cool. There are 3 transcended.
We shouldn't have known who. We don't know who transcended.
Well, I was going to ask you that. The way I read it, it is a Sinister. It's one of the 4 Sinisters that has transcended, because he goes, a Sinister has transcended.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he says he goes, I am not the Sinister you need to worry about. There are more of us. A Sinister has reached the domain.
Which one?
We don't. That's the thing we don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay,
But
you don't know who transcended.
But we know it's. But what I'm saying
I'm just saying
is,
my point was that you don't know who it is.
No, but when you spoiled it for me, you were like, we don't know who did it, and
we
it was
don't know who did it.
No, we know it's a Sinister. We don't know if it's Mother Righteous, and any of the other heart, the club, the fucking symbol.
They all die.
But not when the timeline resets.
No, but he doesn't. He goes to the Dominion. This has nothing to do with their timeline. This is outside of the timeline.
Right, but what I'm
saying, it could be a Sinister that we don't know about.
Sure, but it's a Sinister. That's what I'm trying to say. Is we know for a fact.
But that doesn't. I don't think that ultimately means anything. Like.
Oh no. I'm not saying it's like this make or break thing. I'm just saying it's not well, I mean, maybe it is Professor X. Maybe it's Professor X Sinister. I don't know. But all we know is that it is related to a Sinister because of the way he reacted and what he said. So, whatever that is.
Also, Joe, by the way, I'm not ignoring that question. I will get back to it.
What was the question?
Who do y'all think the Fallen Friend Marvel has been advertising for me? I don't know what that is.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I am out of the loop.
There's our there's our opinion. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let us know. I think we're last. I'm going to go out on a limb here since I've already won a bet. I'll put another bet out there. I think we will get an explanation of how Rasputin jumped timelines. I think we will get it. My only concern is we're gonna get it in a Cy Spurrier book, and then at that point we won't understand it. That's my only fear because of the link that Rasputin has currently with Mother Righteous and how that's a Cy Spurrier character. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pick up Cy Spurrier's books because I'm sure she's gonna be in the books heavily. Because she's one of my favorite characters. So
Rasputin?
Yeah.
That's not a Cy Spurrier character.
But she's linked. What I'm saying is she's currently linked to Mother Righteous, and that's a Cy Spurrier character. Because she's clearly the one that brought her to the timeline.
Yeah.
I think it will be explained. And I don't feel like that's me trying to
explain better.
No, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I really do believe that because I think this is proof, in my opinion, again, that Karen Gillan and Al Ewing, and for some little bit, Cy Spurrier stuck the landing of this event. I think this was a total and awesome event, in my opinion. And I want to bet.
Okay, yeah, you have won 100 pennies.
No.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What? No, I looked up this Marvel's Fallen Friend thing. I have not seen anything about this, but apparently someone's dying.
Someone's
Chat
dying.
thinks it's Miles.
Oh,
think it's Miles? Why would you say that? That's so rude.
Because you know why?
Why?
I think it's Miles has to die so that the Ultimate Universe can come back.
Oh.
I just solved it. Don't have to buy it. Don't have to read it. There you go.
Don't have to buy it or read it. Just send your money to Jim, so I don't have to.
Anyway, I think the Fall X will be good. I don't know. I understand why you feel like it's bad, but I genuinely felt like we got a payoff. I felt like I think we both were thinking that this was just an Elseworld thing and there wouldn't be any ramifications, and holy shit, we got ramifications.
There's some ramifications, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't be too picky on the way it was delivered, because on one side of the sword, it's like, man, there's too many tie-ins, and we always say that about events, right? But then on the other side of this one, it's like there's not enough. We're not getting enough information. We're jumping, 10, 100, 1,000 years.
And they've also been doing this pseudo event, non-event. There's not really such a thing as tie-ins, right? Like they all just fit into the randomness of the books. So even though there were some skippable or at least briefly readable parts of it, still, I think overall, the event was worth it, and I think it'll be remembered more favorably as one of the events of the Krakoa era.
Last, I think we're gonna see Orcus and Sentinels very soon, and for a while.
We just saw Sentinels. We just saw where they're coming from and what's happening, funded, and how they're going to get involved. We know Fei Long's connection with Orcus, and we literally see they're going to be Iron Man, Tony Stark's Sentinels. No,
I think we were going to be by October. We're going to be sick of Orcus and Sentinels. Like I think that's just what's going to happen. But anyway, Sins of Sinister Domain I thought was great. I think Sinister, for a character that I really didn't give two shits about, I really liked. In this Mother Righteous situation, seeing the council go into the pit, really, did they have to go in there? We don't know. And the fact that the council just trusts her hand and foot, Mother Righteous, shit's about to go down. Now we can speculate that the fall of X really is the fall of Xavier, and I think a lot of people, including Hampa Carroll, who probably started this, have been kind of previewing that, because we still don't believe that Krakoa is really going anywhere. But things are about to get interesting. There's already been teased that the Hellfire Gala is not going to go off very well. That whatever big surprise they have in store is probably going to fail epically, and a lot of people in the community have been predicting that Krakoa is going to split, that this perfect nation for mutants, while physically will still exist, there's going to be division, rot within the soil of Krakoa, and we'll just have to wait and see. So,
Joe, I would not say that at all. And I haven't even read Age of Apocalypse, but I would not say that because you'll never be able to fight the mountain of nostalgia. So,
right. Plus, it's Apocalypse, which we're about to get some more of him here soon. Cannot wait.
You hope so.
I was right
at
about
least one issue, right? So,
you want to bet?
Let's go to the next book, okay?
All right, we got Daredevil,
Did you
Black
get this
Red.
cover?
No, because it's an exclusive.
Oh.
It doesn't exist.
I was wondering why it wasn't there.
Yeah, I was like, I even asked, and they're like, we didn't get it. Like, it's an exclusive. And I was like, damn it. This was solid. This was a solid book. But if I had to pick, I can't pick a specific, we had to pick a pick of the week, right? Like, and unfortunately, the other two stories, one of the, I didn't like the third one, but I liked the first one, and I obviously liked the Peach Momoko one, but I can't pick one story to be my pick of the week. But I will say, no, I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I gotta,
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna say, if you skipped this, go get it. And if the only reason, if there was
Unless
one
you hate
reason,
Star Wars. If you really hate Star Wars,
no, even if you hate Star Wars, go get this. Stop it. You're not giving her enough credit.
I don't agree. I don't agree. If you hate Star Wars, don't pick this up.
You should agree, because
if you hate Star Wars, you don't deserve the glory of what's in this book.
Okay, so you're just sitting on your high chair now. You're just getting to. How about that?
I am sitting on my high horse.
Hear me outside.
And I'm gonna ride it. How about that?
Anyway, the Peach Momoko artwork and her no words, no dialogue.
Yeah.
Was. I looked at it. I literally stared at it for like an hour. Like, I just digested it. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I don't know what Marvel's got to do, but they need to extend Peach's contract. Like, just get it done. Because, not that I wouldn't mind. Granted, I would love to see her do some DC shit. I think it'd be great.
Oh, where's Jade at? This is what I was gonna say. Was like this Junji Ito vibes in this book are insane.
Oh man, it was so good. I was just in love with it. The first story was good by Jason Aaron. I thought it was a lot of fun. But the Peach Momoko story was just phenomenal. Every single page that she did can be a variant 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, however many pages he had, re-release. Like, it was so good.
Yeah. So you didn't read. So okay, there's a couple things. Joe asks, are these Star Wars books, are all these Star Wars books connected, or are they just random stories to themselves? Which is a difficult to answer question. Anything that Marvel releases is technically canon unless otherwise specified. These now, like the ongoings, like the Star Wars and Darth Vader and Dr. Aphra and Bounty Hunters, those are all super interconnected. I think they've crossed over 3 times already. They're all canon, so they're all real stories. Stuff like this, while I think technically are considered canon, there's nothing in here that you need to know. Besides you need to know Darth Vader is. Obviously, like, this book was written for like people that are interested in the character. Because I would say each one of these stories has nuance that if you don't really know about the character, you would be a little confused about. The first story is like a really fun little. So the first one is Jason Aaron's, who wrote Darth Vader for a long time, and this is the only story that's going to be in all 4 books. So it's going to go throughout all 4 issues, and it's like a story of Darth Vader's cockiness because he ends up getting caught when he thought he wasn't going to. The Peach Momoko story is a story about Vader's, like, how horrific he is and how much, like, he scares people. And then the third story, which you didn't read, I'm just gonna call you out. You didn't read.
Okay.
The third story is good too. The third story is about how smart Vader is. So you get his cockiness, you get his terror, you get his intelligence, because we see these rebels trying to deactivate the or not trying to deactivate, trying to reactivate the weapon on a Death Star so that they can turn it in on itself and blow it up. And then the whole time the Death Star has been sitting for over a year, been not functional because they can't figure out what's wrong with the weapon. Well, the one guy who knows what it is as part of the rebel force, he goes in and activates it, and right before he's about to blow it up, Darth Vader's like, you really thought it was that easy for you to get in here, that you were just going to beat everyone and just blow us up? Like, I let you in so you would fix it for me because I knew you were the only guy that could possibly fix it, so thanks. And then he force strangles him and he dies. So yeah, if you're a Darth Vader fan, this is, you have to.
Oh yeah, no doubt. This is a not miss. Do not miss. All right, let's keep moving. Strange Academy Finals, issue number 6. Sad to see it go.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. And even though we get somewhat of a tease, like, hey, look out in August or September, I think it is. It's so vague. I don't know. It was good. I thought it was good, but I felt extremely rushed. And it just felt like we were trying to get to a conclusion way too fast. It didn't end the way I thought it was going to end, which I think is a good thing. That being said, I'm going to miss this comic dearly. But I think what's going to happen is in September, either September or August, we're going to get a solicitation that Strange Academy's back, but it's not going to be with Roberto Ramos or even Scotty Young. I think it's going to get a new creative team. Which
of all the books, is this book the most tied to the identity of their creators right now?
I mean, I don't think you can't say it's not, right? Because it hasn't had anybody else on the book, right? You haven't.
That's true.
You just, I mean, the art stayed consistent. The writing stayed consistent, obviously. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, cool. So we're probably going to get a new creative team on Strange Academy. And for me, I want to be hopeful with that because I think Scotty Young built a really, really, really cool world here. But I think outside of me trying to be as open as possible, I think it can get botched really easily. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully they pick a really good creative team. If August or September comes around and it's like, oh, and by the way, Al Ewing and Philip Kennedy Johnson, or I don't know, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not even put in art. Let's just say the writer, Al Ewing or Donny Cates or Steve Orlando or Vida Ayala, or, which we haven't.
On this book? Are you saying all the names that you would make, like,
no,
not sound great?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if that was announced, I'd be like, all right, cool, it's in capable hands. Yeah. But if it was like Cy Spurrier, I'd be like, out, not doing it. Right? Just, I'm done, because that's just gonna suck ass.
Oh man, you hate him so much.
It's just, dude, the dude's just so dense. Like, he's just thick, man. He's thick. But anyway,
I just like him thick. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey man, you don't have to tell me about that. Look, listen, don't be dirty. Anyway,
I'm not being dirty.
Let's just say this. Was there going to be a resolution? Was Emily going to get saved? No, she doesn't. Do we see a death of a character in this book? Yeah, we do. And you're like, oh shit, right? And so all this climax happens and then it abruptly ends. And we don't really get a resolution with Emily, but the school is going to continue, yada, yada, yada. I like it. And so it's clear that when the book ends, it's clear that we're gonna return back to this thing. Now, fingers crossed. Maybe the ride off into the sunset statements at the back of the book from Scotty Young and Roberto Ramos is a red herring, and when August comes in or September comes in, you're like, hey, we're back for semester, sophomore year. Like, let's see. And I'm gonna be hopeful for it because this book's definitely coming back because there's so many things that are left unresolved. The only thing that would be incredibly frustrating would be, here's the thing, no more Strange Academy, but all these characters that we built just start popping up in everybody else's books, and you're like, well, if you read it, you know. And I think that'd be incredibly discouraging.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I don't think that'll happen, but I agree.
I hope not. Hope not. That would be, yeah. All right, let's move on. I think we have a couple more Marvel books, and then we will jump into Joe's his halftime question. Thor Thor issue number 33 from Groenbeck. I thought the artwork on this was really good. It really
grabbed
me.
Sleuthing so I could see what you were saying, and because I don't remember complaining about the art. What I was complaining about was that the difference, because last issue was 32, was where I was complaining about it, was different than 31. Not that it was bad, that was different. That we couldn't even get one 3-issue arc filled with the same artist.
Right.
But no,
Well,
I enjoyed the art. I think it fit the atmosphere of this book really well.
Yeah. So we're following Thanos. Clearly, he's been banished to like another life dimension or something like that, and he's trying to create the Black Stone, the Black Infinity Stone in this issue, essentially.
Or he's waiting for Boar to create it so he can steal it.
Right. And so, the big reveal at the end is he's trying to create it, and a child is born, and I'm sure that's the stone. Whatever. Outside of the artwork, it's starting to kind of lose me a little bit. And the only reason why the reason why it's losing it, the reason why I feel like I'm losing the narrative a bit has nothing to do with Groenbeck's writing style and her ability to tell a story. Not whatsoever. It's the fact that we know this run is ending. Right? And so it's
so you folded your arms and pouted your lips and just...
No, it's not that. It's just like, how many issues do we have left? What, 3?
I don't know.
3 or...
That sounds about right.
It's something like that. And like, when we were... And I'm not going back to Cates needs to be the one writing it. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is there's a lot of expectation to fulfill in 3 issues. When the first arc ended and we saw what Thor was going to see on his deathbed, and what I'm worried about is that it's going to be like, it's that was a potential, and it's like we've been building it up since Donnie, since he had introduced the concept, right, of Thanos getting this Black Infinity Gauntlet with the stones and Mjolnir infused with the stones. And I worry that when we get to either issue 34 or 35, the penultimate, that, oh yeah, we're trying to build up this. Never mind. It's just it didn't happen because really reality is this. And so what Thor saw was the death of him in multiverse number blah 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 blah, and you're like, well, because that's not what we're doing with Thor after this, and it's all because Donnie's not on the book anymore. I'm just a little worried, and so the narrative seems to kind of losing me because it's like we've got so much to do with that concept with 3 issues left, or however many there are. 2.
35 is the last issue.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
It has nothing to do with Groenbeck. I'm just saying that right now.
No, actually, if anything, my complaint about this issue's writing style was that it was too Donny Cates and it wasn't enough Groenbeck style.
Right.
She did a little more too much of the inner monologue narrative running with the outer talking of the characters, and they stumbled over each other. And I don't know if that was a lettering issue or didn't work that well. One thing I did like, which is just a random aside that really has nothing to do with the overall story we're being told here, though, was when Thor was stopping Doom's magic from killing all those people, and he grabbed that power. He was like, yo, I can control all these people, like, not like a god, but like a god. Like, I can hear their thoughts and turn their thoughts off and all that stuff.
Bus.
Yeah, exactly. I like seeing Thor in those types of situations because they heighten his character and the difference between them and what most people think of when they think of a god or gods. It highlights his humanity, which I think is something that most Marvel writers don't do too much nowadays. They are really riding high on the almighty Thor smashing everything. I think it's the same. I think when I said crossing your arms and pouting your lips, that's because that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of like frustrated with I feel like last right now with Hickman got the boot because I just wanted the story that we were supposed to get with Donnie. I wanted it told Donnie's way without interruption, and
Right.
well, I had some cake, but I didn't get to eat it. So.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and and it sucks to be that pessimistic, but it just feels that way. And John puts it best: are they wrapping up the Thanos stuff in 2 issues? I was hoping that it was a chapter 1 leading into a major crossover event. No, we're not. It doesn't seem that way. Doesn't seem that way. It sounds like we're just kind of ending it and we're moving on, which really sucks. So. All right, I think the next is, so this is we're jumping into DC. Before we do DC, we're going to get to Joe's halftime question. Marketing question. We are seeing Hollywood crack down on trailers giving audiences false promotions that won't be in the movies, and now we are seeing lawsuits happening. So for comics, there isn't good marketing other than covers from the comics. So question is, should cover A's be forbidden to give false narratives of issues? Also, I don't know if y'all's ships do this, but my shops do this, but my shop pre-bag and board their issues we can't open to see what style is inside. So I think cover A's should have the same art that's in the issue. Wow, that's interesting.
Okay. A lot there.
Well, let me get to
do it.
The latter first.
Oh.
Our shop does not pre-bag and board comics, but I have been to a shop that does that, but they don't seal them. But they do it as out of a courtesy to just say, hey, protect your comics.
Our shop will do it if you ask them to do it.
Yeah, but I've never encountered a shop that does it and seals it so that you can't look inside. That's pretty crazy. I feel like that's kind of.
If I had a shop that did that, I would never go back to that shop ever.
Yeah, I just think that's kind of out of decorum. That's very bad. As for the false marketing, I kind of agree. Because we like same thing with like the movie trailers, right? We buy with our eyes in this instance. And how many times have we looked at a cover and I'm like, man, it looks badass, and then it never happens in the issue? I mean, granted, I wouldn't be like, that didn't happen, I'm suing you, Marvel Comics. Like, I wouldn't do that unless I don't know what the scenario would be where I would do that. But I understand and see why. I get the point. And it is a little bit of... It's false advertising for sure. And I could see someone doing that, just to make a quick buck. So I think I don't know about you, Nate, but I think I would agree. Like, yeah, cover A's need to be somewhat to the point. And if there's something on that cover that's completely false and it's not even mentioned in the issue, then I think I have an issue with that. Now, if it's something that is alluded into the issue that's going to build up into something more and it's kind of hinted at, I'm okay with that.
I do not feel strongly about this at all. In one hand, I would say, do I get frustrated sometimes whenever the cover is a complete red herring and seems very dishonest to the story? Yeah, that's annoying. Does it happen that often? No. Is it also kind of a comic tradition that we've been doing for like 80 years? Yeah. So that's not a good reason to keep doing something, but it is a reason for me to just sort of be like, nah. I would be much happier if we did something along the lines of the cover art should match the interior art on cover A, have the interior artist also do your cover. I think that would be really nice. But then people like Patty would be disappointed when they don't get their awesome Alex Ross covers on their Doctor Strange books, because he's obviously not doing it here. So I would be, I don't know. I don't know that I'm that much about it.
I mean, I'm not going to court or anything. I'm just saying, like, I get it.
I'll do it if I can win, but
no. All right, let's jump over to DC with
hold on. Someone talked about wrapping things up and taping them and stuff. Patty said, my shop and every shop around here is that way. In Canada, every back issue always sealed bags and books. Everything's taped up. Got lots of books home, only to find that they have misprints or missing pages, etc. Nowadays, the new shop owner checks, but for back issues and such still happens. All shops carry over you. And then John said, my shop only pre-bags and covers, sometimes more adult comics as well. Yeah, so there's a difference too between like these comics or like these that we have right here that like you have to like peel the plastic off and then it self seals. But there's a difference between that and then like a comic bag where you just have to put your own tape on it. Obviously, I wouldn't expect them to just leave it loose if it's the one you have to put your own tape on it. That I get, especially for a back issue. I would never assume that back issues would be left open. But for you, for a store to be sneakily handing me my comics like this, don't you open them until them. That just makes me assume that you're trying to fuck me over in some way, and I'm not interested. It's bad business to show. If you can't show that you trust your customers like some kind of modicum of respect, why would you expect me to have the modicum of respect to come pick up my place? You got to treat your customers the way you treated
100.
So
all right. Well, that was cool.
You keep letting me get on the soapbox.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about Action Comics, Superman Action Comics issue 1054. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was good. I think the Superman comics, the Superman team is doing a great job. Continuing to push this new narrative for the Superman family and getting them involved. I think it's really good. The Metallo thing was cool in this book. I think, and I just thought it fired on all cylinders, and I wasn't disappointed. Man, I think Philip Kennedy Johnson is finding a second win for a Superman run, and I don't know. I think Superman's in a really good spot right now when it comes to all of his books. I think they're doing really cool shit, and I don't know. I really like the inclusion of the super family in this book. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I hope they keep doing that. I hope they allow Philip Kennedy Johnson to continue to use pieces of the whole family. Don't take John away just because he's got the Tom Taylor book. Don't take what's the clone, Connor or whatever. Don't take him away because he's got his own book. Let them be together. Let them and keep using the twins. I'm gonna keep saying it every month. Keep using the twins. Keep that Dan Slott Fantastic Four magic going. I think it's great. Also, how cool, I don't know how much you know about Superman's Rogues Gallery and stuff, but I thought that was a really fun way to bring back the Cyborg Superman.
Oh, Cyborg Superman? Yeah, I'm super stoked for that. I mean, he's dope.
Also, the two backups in this, I didn't read Dan Jurgens one, which is the like in between from the New 52 Batman coming back in the Convergent. I didn't read that, but I read the Steel one. And it was pretty good. It felt like it was exactly written for you and me, for people that are like, sure, context clues can help you understand who Jeremy Irons is, but let's help you out a little bit more to understand.
Right.
So I appreciated that.
Cool. All right, let's keep going. Detective Comics. This is moving quick. I read the first 3 pages, and then we got into this history lesson, and I didn't read it. I was, when this has already happened once in the book. What up, Jaden? You're not late. You're right on time. I kind of alluded to it when we had this on New Comic Book Day. I was like, oh, it looks like we're going back in time. And it's just, it doesn't feel like a Batman story. And it's not a Batman story. It's it's a history lesson, and I just don't care. And that's unfortunately, I think this has happened once before in Ram's book, and I hate to say this, but I'm starting to think about dropping it. Okay, I'm not going to drop it. I'm just saying I'm starting to think about it.
I was very frustrated by this because I agree with all of your assessment. This was not a Batman book. I mean, Batman was not even in this book hardly at all.
Barely.
But I'm sure that within the context of the overall run here, I mean, Ron V has really thrown out the serialized story here, right? He has literally said, I'm telling a story. Hey guys, I got a 14-issue arc. You interested? And they're like, yeah. He goes, okay, you chop it up how you want because I don't give a shit about where the issues begin and end. You know what I mean? Like that, it really does feel like that in some ways. Or like they finish this issue and they go, "Hey, you realize Batman was actually in this one?" He's like, "Yeah, but I had something to tell you, so you can just fucking figure it out." And it's like, well, okay, I guess, but like we also need Batman in the Batman book, right?
Right.
He's like, no, it's not interested in that. I feel like though, once you slot this back in and sit down with his run and just read it all the way through, I bet you never notice it. I bet it's great. I bet it's fun. But on a week that had 16 books and I got 6 or 7 pages into a Batman book without Batman, I said,
no dice.
This is pretty art. Okay. I did read the backup, the Sci Square backup.
Cool.
It was a cute time.
I mean, you can look at the book and go, "Oh, okay, so this is okay, cool, yeah, all right, let's get on with it." Let's get on with it. All right, next up we have Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue number 2. I'm really digging this book. This is basically DC's X-Men book. It's Mutants book, and we're building this new, organization as the Doom Patrol, and we're getting metahumans, and we're saving them, and we're building this new team. I'm just gonna tell you now, spoilers. Someone literally blows up in this issue.
Oh,
not like.
All right, yeah, you
like blows up, like. So our character, our main character, or not main character, but our character on the cover here, essentially is a spy for Peacemaker and his makeshift Suicide Squad. He has a chip in the back of his head that will blow up if he doesn't, follow orders. And he's been tasked to spy on the Doom Patrol. And he has this worm that you see on the cover that's part of him. It lives in his stomach. And so he can use it to infiltrate and learn new things. And so he basically does that. And Peacemaker finds out that there's some crazy shit going on with the Doom Patrol that he doesn't like. And so he's getting ready to lay the hammer down on Doom Patrol. That's where we're going in the next issue. But this kid essentially disobeys an order, and before they can blow him up, the Doom Patrol is able to kind of like cancel out the signal for a little bit, and they're like, it's really strong, but we can, we're gonna try to help you, and they can't figure it out. To the point where he's like, no, just take my worm, make sure he's safe, and I'm gonna go die. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And the robot character, is it Robot Man? I don't know what he's called. Literally picks him up and goes, "Yo, you're about to blow up. I'm gonna throw you into the air so we can all not die." And he literally chucks him in the air, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and he blows up. Like, I'm not kidding. Yeah. He's like, "Forgive me for what I've done." Kaboom! And just guts go everywhere. So, the Doom Patrol is under threat. Do they know it? We don't know. But this book is dope. It's super fun. Jones says, I laughed my ass off when they mocked Hickman's arrow. Yeah, that's right. There's a data page in the book. There is a data page that is a straight swipe at Hickman. Man. Like, it's black and white, and it's got the weird symbols. It's a total, like, they're totally making fun of the X-Men, and they're making fun of Jonathan Hickman. It's really good. But the blowing up of the character, I was like, oh, like, I was literally reading, and I was like, oh shit, like, that's, yep. I
missed the first 2 issues of this, so I literally put this in my comic cut for the trade. So
you need to. It's really good. It's been super fun, and I don't know. It's unique. I like it a lot. So there you go. All right, let's jump over to our independents. We're going to kick it off with Behold Behemoth, issue number 5. Did you read this? You didn't read it.
I didn't read this, no.
Okay. Well, we were worried that issue 5 was going to be the last issue, and like there wasn't going to be, it was going to end. And I can safely report that this is the end of book 1. We are getting more Behold Behemoth soon. I'm sure it'll be in the fall. Overall, very pleased with it. Artwork, fantastic. The story, we were led to believe one thing, and it still may be true, but this book really turns itself on its head on that idea that this behemoth is evil. I don't know yet. I really don't know, but I don't want to spoil it, but just know that if you haven't read Behold Behemoth and you're waiting for the trade, go get it. This book is really fun. The concept is cool, and I would love to see this get made into a Netflix series or somewhere get picked up because the story is just that enticing. And I was worried because we still had some questions to be answered from issue 4 and the overall of the issue. And I was like, man, there's a lot to answer getting into issue 5. And surprise, we didn't get a lot of answers in that regard. But don't worry, we're getting a second book. We're getting a second arc, so it's okay. And so the hook that they revealed in this book was really kick-ass. So what's so funny over there? What's she whispering to you in your ear, huh? So okay. Anyway, Behold Behemoth number 5, really good. I think we're gonna I think if you're looking for some kind of I don't want to say sci-fi, but like dark history or dark fantasy mixed in with a little bit of theology, and I don't mean that in like a you're saved, but just like a dogma, if you will, then Behold Behemoth is right up your alley. It's really good, and issue 5 really delivered. It was super fun. All right, Grimm, issue number 10 wasn't my favorite.
This was the last issue.
What do you mean?
I was reading it, I was like, oh wait, this isn't the last issue. I was so
excited. It was okay. I wasn't overtly impressed. I thought it was fun and it was good, but it didn't blow me away like some of the other issues. And I'll be honest with you, I thought the ending was incredibly predictable.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Like it was like the minute when the 80s the rock band guy was like, "Hey, thanks for helping us," and he jumped in. And like we didn't even get a panel of her. I was like, nah, she's fucking betraying him. Like it's just duh. And then they get betrayed. Almost to the point where like the character building that we did in the middle of it, like it felt somewhat genuine. But when that happened, I was like, well, that was a waste of time because I didn't feel like I get completely convinced that this character was really out there to help them. Yeah. So that was kind of disappointing. So, based off of the other issues from Stephanie Phillips in this run, not the strongest, but not necessarily. It's not at the bottom. I'd say it was mid-tier issue. It got the job done. There was an introduction of a new character, which is Life itself, which I thought was pretty cool, and that whole dialogue between Life and Jessica's mother was pretty intriguing. What was going on? Couldn't tell you what they're doing, what they're talking about. But it's a hook.
Okay. So I don't agree. I thought this was a great issue.
Okay, that's fine.
I really enjoyed it. There were some aspects I liked that are it just shows Flaviano's attention to detail is really great. Like when I don't remember the other characters. Not the main character, but the one that chose him.
I barely know Jessica's name.
Oh, okay. Well, when
we
Jess
had 17 books this week. It's just hard.
When Jess and the other two were walking in the rain on Earth, the rain was noticeably hitting her, but was not hitting them. Because remember when she's gone, like for whatever reason, she's perceivable there. She's tangibly there, whereas they're kind of not.
Right.
I just thought that attention to detail was really great. But also you kind of just were like, oh yeah, they also introduced the personification of Life itself, and that was kind of weird. But that was, to me, my oh shit moment for this book was when you really think about it, based off of this issue and the perception we have of the personification of Life and which one is the good guy. Well, I'm asking you a question.
I'm listening.
Good God.
I'm listening.
I'm not asking your ass a question. When you see the presentation, when you see the presentation of the character's death and life, who is the good guy and who's the bad guy?
I think Life is the bad guy.
Yeah, Life is the bad guy and Death is the good guy.
Right.
I think that is the ironic point that Stephanie Phillips is making here. That was a point I don't think was apparent until this issue, and I thought it was very good. and I'm very excited for the 11th issue and the end of this arc because it was great. It's a great issue.
John, it's not our fault that you love it. You're thanking us, right? That's what you mean. Thank you for letting us. Right? Okay.
Why did y'all skip out on? No, Joe, we didn't. We didn't skip out on Green Arrow.
My pick of the week.
We read it.
That's the
No, that's not the guys. Well, that's not the guys.
That's Jim's pick of the
Okay, we're done with Grim.
It's my pick of the week.
No. Okay, so let's talk about it. We didn't
Okay, let's talk
skip
about
it. We,
Oh, yeah,
you
here.
should have brought it up earlier.
No.
We
I
didn't.
had it. I had it all out. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so first of all, you're welcome, guys. I read it and told Joe to read it, and then he read it.
Lies.
So that's not lies. That is
Lies,
100% true.
Lying. Great book.
I don't give a good goddamn.
Neither
about
do I.
Green Arrow or any
Neither
of
do
his
I.
supporting cast. Before
100%.
this.
Yep.
And then I read this and was like, damn.
Yeah.
I gotta do a whole deep dive on Green Arrow. And my perception of these characters is someone in here is going to get super pissed at me because the only perception I have of these characters is from the damn WB show. And I watched like 3 or 4 seasons of that before I finally was like, I need a break. So I don't know how accurate that is, but Roy and my idea of Roy and Green Arrow and oh shit, I don't even remember how many versions they do of Black Canary in that TV show, but that's what I'm used to. And then I read this and was just like, oh, this is so much more intriguing about it.
And to be fair, this book checks all the boxes, right? It artwork fantastic, the story and writing fantastic, the pacing fantastic. The book ends perceivably so quick, but it's only because you're so immersed in the story that is being told. And so that's why it's my pick of the week. The book has to do that in order for it to be pick of the week. Unless there's no book that does that, then I'm like, all right, I'll just pick one. But this week is a genuine pick of the week. Green Arrow was fucking awesome. And Joe, you were correct.
You were. No, you were.
You were. Because not even Lee at the shop was like, you're not, what? You're not picking up Green Arrow? She didn't even mention it because she's like, I'm not even going to do it. I already got him on that kaiju cock book that was last week. So, you know, she was feeling bad about it. But it was good, man. So it's my pick of the week. It was. I will be picking up issue 2, and I probably will be picking up the entire. It'll be on the pull most likely. But
yeah, it was very good. Stefan, you know something's killing children is still bringing me issue 30.
It's his pick of the week every
the last one
week.
Was my pick of the week.
Yeah.
And if you thought we didn't have a lot of consequences, if you thought the stakes weren't high enough, issue 30, which is the most recent one that came out, really puts I don't know.
Right there with you, John.
Like you said, too many names. Whatever the main girl, whatever her name is, it really puts her in a bind. Like I genuinely.
It really does, brother.
Good, brother.
Oh yeah. All right, so I need to get that sound needs to happen every time we get a new subscriber. Like, oh yeah, cream of the crop. Anyway, Patty didn't even hate the idea of Thea being speedy. I enjoyed that. It was a good book. And John, I'm right there with you. This is my first ever Green Arrow issue that I've ever bought in my life. All right, here's our last book of the night, and this is World Tree, issue number 1 from James Tynion the Fourth. Am I pushing this button?
Push the button.
Okay, don't yell at me.
Push the button.
Pick of the week.
This is pick of the week.
Okay, so
This book is rude.
oh damn, Joe. 7, you have not been a bad fan, dude. So this is my pick of the week.
Rude.
Um,
Rude. This book is rude.
This book is rude.
It's straight up rude. I'm not saying it's bad. It was actually really good,
mean,
but the book is rude.
the book is very, very intense.
Unapologetic.
Think of Tynion. Think of all his horror work, which is pretty much most of his work, right? Think of all of the most intense, nerve-wracking scenes from Something is Killing the Children, or from Nice House on the Lake, Razor Blades, if you read any razor blades, think of the like cerebral realism of the closet, and he somehow took all of that and put it into this issue.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Even the solicitations for this book do not do it justice in the slightest bit. And even my explanation probably will not live up to the book. But essentially, this kid goes on a murdering rampage because of something he saw on the undernet or the black net, like the
dark web,
non-accessible part of the internet. And
the internet.
We are getting two different stories. We're getting two different stories told. We have the story of murder that happens, and then we have the story of this couple driving. We're not really sure how everything ends up, and it turns out that it's this teenage kid that committed the murders, and it was all because of this undernet thing. And not only that, but apparently back in 1999, a bunch of early age college kids created something called the World Tree to fight against whatever this evil is. I don't know. I don't want to say every little thing because it'll just. But if you are anywhere on the horror spectrum, the tinium spectrum in the slightest bit, this is a book you absolutely have. Right? I mean, are you reading it after this?
No.
No?
I'm gonna let you do it.
Hold on. My audio's messed up.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm
I
sorry.
thought
I'm being
you were
genuine.
doing a
I can
bit.
only hear you out of one ear.
I said yes. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna read it after this?
I will give it this. If it's on a week like we had this previous week, then no. Does that make sense? If I have 17 books and I'm adding an 18th, I'm not doing it. But if it's a light week when it comes out, sure. Because it was intriguing, but it's not even that it's not up my alley. It's just it's another high concept from Tinian that I'm not saying isn't good. I think it is. It's just I got to it and it was good. It was really good. But I had just read 16 other books and I was just like, ugh, it's just heavy. And then this cover's got me really unnerved. I really don't like the cover. It really bothers me. The mannequin-ness of the dead body on the cover just really makes me feel icky. Stop crossing your arms.
Well, you and Joe burst in my bubble, and I'm upset.
Why? What's wrong with Joe? What did Joe say?
Said that he came. They said thought it was underwhelming, and the idea is strange, and that the murdering was nonchalant. It does their face glitch out whenever they
This
see
book
the screen. Joe,
sucks.
It's an artist's rendition of what's happening. Art was basic as all, kids. I feel like I'm the artist. I feel like
Time out. I will agree with you, except for the back end of the book. When
it's just because the titties look fake, isn't it, Joe?
I didn't give a shit about the
What
titties.
do you mean? I didn't say anything.
That was crazy.
Yes, I can't show
that. No, that back end of the book was crazy, and I thought it looked great. But I do agree. A majority of the issue, I was just kind of when people got phased out when they looked at the screen, that was kind of neat. That was kind of neat. Enjoy baseball. Inside joke. But
you can't just throw that one out there.
I'm definitely gonna throw that one out because nobody except you understands that reference. You can park at the left. Park over at the left. Anyone in the spot. Enjoy baseball. Anyway, I don't know. I kind of agree with Joe. I think overall the concept was cool, but the art felt a little flat. But I don't know, the cover really has got I'd much rather have picked up a 1 in 25 or 1 in 75 incentive from Peach Malka. Like,
Okay. Well, yeah. If we were all,
we all had pennies, right? Yep.
all that.
Sorry to shit on your pick of the week, but this is Nate's pick of the week.
That's Nate's
Well,
pick of the
yeah, what
week.
about you again?
All right, so there you go.
Not sub to that. That's a safe one.
Oh yeah, I forgot Vanish. Vanish. I'm really just picking this up because of Donny Cates. It's okay. It's kind of falling off a little bit, and that's unfortunate. I kind of don't know what the hell's going on. Like I don't remember.
No.
And things that seem to need to be important just don't seem important to me. But I'm gonna keep on picking up the book because it's Donny Cates. That's all I can say about this book. I just I don't know.
Hey, they're solicited through 8, so
yeah. No, we'll keep doing it, but it may not make the show anymore. So there you go. Patty, has anyone subscribed to the yearly Marvel Unlimited, that one that sends a box? What? They send you a box? Thinking about doing that to save my back from long boxes until I get my own joint. What? So they send
if you're talking about, so I haven't done that one, the bigger one. So there's you can pay monthly, or you can pay for your whole subscription all at once. If you give them a little bit more, they give you a bunch of bonus features and stuff, which it does seem like it's worth it. If you're talking about Marvel Unlimited because you don't want to buy everything you want to read, I had to do that a long time ago, because I just was like, my kid was like, "Daddy, can I have some grains of rice?" I'm like, "No, I have to buy more comics."
Can I have some food?
And so, if you're talking about using it, I would say it's definitely worth it. It's not the most user-friendly interface ever, but it is pretty good. It's pretty good for Marvel.
Wow. Joe just said something. I'm like, man, Donnie must be in a really bad spot. He goes, I haven't read it yet when it comes to Vanish, but I heard Stegman is already off the book. Makes sense. Makes no sense because this is promoted as a Cates and Stegman book.
Wait, Stegman is off Vanish?
Yeah.
This is their Substack.
Yeah, that they are partners in that.
This is literally under their printing that they started this, the Kids Chains thing.
Right.
Yikes.
Yikes is right, guy. Like that's concerning. That's really concerning. I'm with you, Jim. I like Vanish, but I always forgot what happened in the previous issue when I read the current one. Yeah, it's just the connectivity. I'm sure it reads really well as a trade, but I could not. I remember that the main character's best friend got killed, and that they were going after his wife, but things kind of got turned upside down, and I don't know, man. It's just it feels very disconnected, and I don't know if that's just because of what's going on with Donnie right now. But man, please come back. Let's get back. Let's right the ship, because like I miss you, dude. I miss you. I miss your stories. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for issue 129 or episode 129 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated, as we are in the middle of a subscriber giveaway, and we can't give away them slabs until we hit them milestones. So please hit that like button. Patty says, "Daddy, please, we're hungry. More books. Sorry."
Did you say sorry?
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
You really put the Patty flair on there.
Yeah, man, I have to. Anyway, we'll see you guys this Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will do New Comic Book Day, which it is a lighter week. It is a much lighter week, so we will have some little bit more in-depth reviews for our books. So be looking forward to that. And then we'll be here live again, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will talk about all those books and more. And keep an eye out for our top picks for Free Comic Book Day. We will be doing that. It will be dropping the day before, or maybe 2 days before Free Comic Book Day. So be on the lookout for that, even though it is Free Comic Book Day. But hey, man, it's a good day. It's a great day to go out and support your LCS. Go out to your LCS, pick up some free comic books, buy some comic books, see if they have any sales going on. I know if you're here in the DFW area, Collected does have a sidewalk sale going on Free Comic Book Day, where Ron and Brent do some amazing deals. So if you are in the DFW area, go check them out. But if you're not, go check out your LCS on that day. Go support them. Go pick up some free books and go buy some books. Just buy some stuff from your LCS on a day that when you usually wouldn't go. right? Go support them. Help them out. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, fam, be kind to one another. And Nate, what do we say?
Read more comics.
Read more comics. We'll catch you guys later. God dang it.
Can't put me on the spot like that. I don't know.
I mean, that was the fun part. Yeah, you do. I say it every time.
Yeah, but usually when you start talking, my brain kind of just...
Yeah, exactly. You don't listen.
Hey, when you start talking my titty books and start saying that they're bad, then, I mean...
Well, the titty book wasn't that great. I mean, it was okay.
Jaden, I don't think you were here when we were talking about Star Wars earlier. Check out the Peach Momoko stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is like Peach and Juji Ito mixed together. It's perfect.
Do it. All right, dudes. We'll see you later.